Just a couple brief comments before we get going. I know you're not here to hear me, you're here to hear a couple other people that are with us tonight. But Campaign for Liberty really is, as Anthony said, we really are moving. Just this past week, we passed 150,000 active members nationwide. I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you there's a number of groups, I won't name names, but a number of groups in Washington, D.C. that have been around 10, 15, 20, 30 years that don't have that kind of membership. And I thank you for making that possible. In the last month alone, over 5,000 members have joined Campaign for Liberty. A big part of that is because of our efforts and Congressman Paul's efforts on H.R. 1207, Audit the Fed Bill. And I'm happy to report that as of today, that bill now has 179 co-sponsors. We picked up 4 more. As with the presidential campaign, what's happening in a way is things are moving a little faster than we thought they would. The American people are waking up. Congress, at least some of them, are waking up. They understand that they better get on this or they are going to pay the consequences next year. And I have to say, it's not me, it's not Campaign for Liberty, it's you. It's individuals across the country that are delivering those petitions, making those phone calls, making sure that your congressman goes on record or again pays the consequences. We've got to continue our efforts. We've got to continue working hard. We've got to continue to grow our organization, grow the people involved, and it's through the hard work of people like you that we're able to do that. So I say a big thank you to everyone who's here tonight. If you're not a member of Campaign for Liberty, I urge you to look at our website, check us out, and join. Next, I just want to introduce someone who is one of the hardest working people I've ever met, the interim state coordinator for Washington, Katya Delavar. She has done a phenomenal job, a great asset to the organization, a great asset to the state of Washington, and we appreciate your efforts and everything you've done. And here's a little token from us at Campaign for Liberty.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your humble servant. I was born in Tehran, Iran, to a German father and an Iranian mother. I have to look at my notes, otherwise I'll get lost. In 1985, I was a 14-year-old with braces during the war between Iran and Iraq. The government had given authority to the police to capture and punish anyone who did not obey the strict laws of the land. I was on my way to the grocery store, and all of a sudden an SUV police car pulled over and threw me into the car. I was shocked, in tears, and unable to get answers as to why I was being taken without my parents' knowledge. After 3 hours of being held in a jail cell, I was told that I was a suspect. I was told to go back to school and tell everyone that the laws of the land are to be abided by and that the government is not playing games. There was no reason for this abduction. A month later, I was on my way to a friend's house down the street, and a strong wind blew my scarf down. Just then, the police came around the corner and saw me reaching for my scarf. I saw them, and my fight or flight sense kicked in. I ran to my friend's house. I was ringing the doorbell, clutching their fence, and knocking so hard that my knuckles were bruising. The policewoman slapped me across my face, causing my cheek to get stuck in my braces. I was bleeding. She was saying, "Come with us now." I was not about to go with them. I had done nothing wrong. When my friend's mom asked what had what I had done. They said that I threw my scarf down on purpose, trying to be rebellious and dissenting. I didn't even know what those words meant. I had to get out of the country. I sought shelter here in the land of the free. I am asked often, why are you active in politics? Why are you volunteering without pay to try to move a grain of sand when a whole beach needs to be moved? My answer is that I have hope, a hope that the people will stand up together and help each other because no one else, including the government, will help them. I am honored to serve Washington State and my wonderful liberty-minded friends that understand what it takes to be free. Look, it takes showing up to put pressure in places where it matters. It takes making allies with your neighbors. You know, Washington State is currently one of the leading states in the number of congressmen who have co-sponsored Dr. Paul's bill to audit the Federal Reserve. How did that happen? We had a signature blitz weekend for the petition to be handed out to the congressmen. Each region worked on it, and they went to their neighbors, to their Saturday markets and Walmarts, got signatures, and voila! One region that spans from Olympia all the way down to the Oregon border obtained 450 signatures. Now, could you imagine if we had twice that number of people, how many signatures we could possibly get? Brian Barrett hasn't signed on in that region yet. People spoke to their congressmen at town hall meetings, wrote letters, sent faxes, our legislators made pleas, and visited their offices to put the pressure on. These tools yielded Congressman Smith, McMorris Rogers, McDermott, Hastings, and Inslee, as well as Riker just a couple of days ago. That's 6 out of 9, so let's get working. We are a lobbying organization, and lobbying is one means of getting our message across. The name of the game is either to give pain or pleasure. If someone is doing things right, we will give them positive feedback. And if they're not, well, watch out. We are here to hold them accountable. There is a beach we're trying to move. Let's not just use our hands to move the sand inefficiently. Let's use shovels and buckets. That's the whole point of this convention and this organization, to equip you with the tools to petition government efficiently. Folks, in Iran is a beautiful country with gorgeous and generous people, and they're very hospitable. Yet in Iran, people do not have the opportunity to appeal to the people in power. Here, we still do. Would you please join me to become a coordinator, a leader, or an activist in this movement? Tomorrow morning, the workshop will equip you to become the grassroots activists we need in Campaign for Liberty. Tomorrow night, we have a buffet, a wonderful blues band, which you've met, and a game social night. Liberty unites people from all walks of life, and one thing that I know that's consistent about liberty lovers is that we all like to network with like-minded folks. Finally, on Sunday, we are going to finish the National Campaign for Liberty training before lunch. After lunch, we will hear from local leaders such as State Supreme Court Justice Richard Sanders and Initiative King Tim Eyman. These folks are from the region and will speak on how to safeguard the principles of liberty. This portion is again free and open to the public. Make sure you look at the flyers you were given tonight for details on all the events I have just mentioned. John, I need that paper I gave you, please. As a 14-year-old, I held on to that fence because it was safety. Today, I clutch onto the Constitution and the Bible like I did that fence, and I knock on the door of opportunity with my knuckles until my last breath. Thank you. Because Dr. Paul's message inspired me. We need to lead our lives by example, and in doing so, we can affect our own circle of influence. You came here to hear about the economy and to be inspired by great leaders. All I ask, please do something with that inspiration. Thank you so much. So I'm greatly honored and privileged to introduce